Okay, that sucks, doesn't it? That was 10 minutes. So we just... Okay, for context, because this is going to be a bit of a flat... This is a bit of a 15-minute into the podcast energy, not an initial podcast energy. We just recorded for 10 minutes and then realised that a port on my laptop is broken. So the USB audio into... Basically, we didn't record sound. We now don't have wides. But that means nothing, really. People won't notice that. But it's sad for us. How are you? You good?
I'm fine.
This may be a quicker episode than planned because this has been a disaster so far.
Do you know what's really annoyed you lately?
You tell me. Roll the intro.
That might be an audio issue.
That'll be fine. No, what's happened there, because for them, they would have heard that normally. For us... That came out my laptop and sounded horrific. And they may also hear it coming out of our laptops. That'd be fine. How are you? You good?
I'm good, I'm fine. But you've been annoyed about... I can't even remember what it was.
No, I complained... In the first 10 minutes, I complained about streaming services.
Oh, yeah, prices going up. Adding like, ads. Do you not want ads as an extra £5 a month, please?
£5 a month? Fucking try £100 a month. It's... Not a month, a year. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It's insane. And it's all of it. It's all of the same.
Disney, you paid us £80, it would now be £160.
It's so weird.
We'll add ads, or you go, fuck you.
I feel like all of the streaming services at the moment, right? They're like fighting for who can be the most expensive.
Who's the worst?
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's like, instead of competing with each other to be like, oh, we're more value, we're better value. It's like, no, we're more expensive.
Worst.
No, we're more expensive.
We'll show you 5 ads per video you watch, unless you pay. Right.
I think we're in an ad. We're in an ad like apocalypse, right? Yeah, an addemic. It's an addemic.
Adpocalypse is good.
No, because adpocalypse has already happened. That's an already
the YouTube thing.
Yeah. We're in an addemic at the moment, where everyone's gone batshit crazy. Like even YouTube now. I'm fine with ads on YouTube, right? But then all of a sudden YouTube has just been like, oh, you think you're fine with ads, do you? Oh,
horrendous.
How about an ad every fucking 2 minutes? On like you're watching like a long YouTube video. It's like an hour long or something. There's an advert every 5 minutes.
The good news is,
and it's like, YouTube will be like, oh no, it's fine though because it's only 30 seconds and most of them you can skip. And I'm like, yeah, but it's every 5 minutes. I would rather have like a 5-minute ad break in the middle of the YouTube video, and I can just I'll go for a piss, have a wank, check TikTok, whatever. I'll be like, okay, cool, 5 minutes is done, and then I can watch the next half hour of my YouTube video. Yeah, it's insane.
It's bad. I can't. The only good news is with that little tech issue we've had, and losing the last 10 minutes is we'll miss that part where I almost told people to illegally stream everything instead, which might have been breaking the law. Don't do that.
No.
But a part of me is like, it would be quite good if these companies just stopped making money.
I just think
kill them.
It's insane. We touched on it earlier, but how much money you have to spend now if you're a fan of sports. Not just forget about just football, like because we used football as the example. But let's say you're just a fan of all sports. You want to watch all the sports.
Yeah.
Mate, it's like £300 a month to get all of the subscription channels and all of the Sky channels, packages, BT, whatever, to be able to just watch everything you want to watch. It's insane. The world has gone, but it's absolutely it's fucking
everything.
Bonkers.
Right? This is so we've messed up here because of the tech issue. But you were mentioning about well, I guess I'll do the whole thing. Right, my shirt is dirty. Which isn't funny to anyone else, but we've already had this conversation. And then I said about how I melted a necklace playing a gig, which was by the river. It was the hottest day of last year or the year before.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one. Was it last year?
Yeah.
It was a good gig. And loads of people came out, but no one was stood in front of the stage because the stage was just an open field. So everyone was like
everyone was in the shade.
Fair enough.
Everyone
Apart
was in
from
the shade.
that family of kids that were eating their sandwiches. And I'm like, someone put these under the shade.
No, I think they were from like...
What?
A hotter country.
I don't know what you're trying to say. They didn't look.
Were
they like Spanish?
Yeah,
I
just think they're probably like, what are all these English people doing?
What a lovely day!
It is a lovely day.
But and then you were talking about clothes and washing and catch the highlight.
Nothing works anymore.
But my point,
nothing works. Everything is broken.
No, not everything's broken. Everything is too expensive. I think when we were kids, you wanted a bottle of Daz, it was £1. right? You want a bottle of Daz now, it's £9. Or buy the ultra super shit one for £3.
Yeah, and I buy the
Everything is so expensive now. So I think you're having to settle for less inferior products.
Yeah, mate, but no, because I still think like because I've got like the little like what's the Ariel like capsules?
Yep.
Right. That I'm popping in with my washing. I feel like my washing just doesn't smell as good as it ever used to.
No, I do agree with that.
It's like,
maybe our smell's
I
changing.
don't know.
Maybe our sense
maybe.
of smell is changing.
Maybe. Did I just hear another pop?
I heard a pop, but it looks like we still have audio.
Okay.
Currently.
I definitely heard a pop.
I heard the same pop. But remember, that pop that I thought was us losing audio wasn't, because we lost audio 10 minutes before that. So I wouldn't worry too much about the pop.
But anyway, right? Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I just feel like nothing is as good as it ever was.
Nothing is as
Everything's
good.
getting fucking worse.
Everything's more expensive. Everything's smaller. I think.
Oh
right,
my god! Don't even get me.
No,
don't even get me
shit.
started on
The
shrinkflation.
shrinkflation,
It's insane.
I've been having this thought for the last couple of weeks, because every time I buy a fucking chocolate bar or something, and I know I'm a bigger boy than I used to be, but they're fucking tiny, right? I think someone, or maybe all of us, we need to have a class action lawsuit against every company for shrinkflation and go, you are intentionally deceiving people, right? The Duo chocolate, which is instead of having a long bit of chocolate, they can now have a gap in the middle as well as on the edges.
Yeah, but they
It's a con.
They market it like it's more like.
And this is what I'm saying.
It's Duo.
This is what I'm saying.
Why get one when you can get Duo?
Yeah.
It's like two pieces that when you put them together, it's like half the size of a normal one.
But also, and I think the combination of that, packaging increasing, right, so it looks bigger, or the product itself decreasing, I personally think it is genuinely a con. I think that there's some consumer rights are being broken, that if you were to go back 10 years and buy the same product, it would be cheaper, which I know is just inflation, but also you're getting more. I think they're deceiving people. I think when you buy a packet of crisps and there's now 30% the amount of crisps, I think everyone's being conned. I mean, it's gone too far.
Yeah.
Maybe we need communism.
I don't.
Maybe we need just a dictator. You want crisps? Do you know what you buy? Crisps. They're called, and it's in a white packet.
There's no different brands.
No, it's crisps. And fuck it.
And
right,
it's like they're not even flavours. It's just colours. It literally just says red. And it's not even red. They're all white bags, and
white
it just says the word red.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
It says crisps red.
What coffee do you want? What do you mean? Coffee.
It's like those games that you used to play like back in the day or something, and it was just everything would just be like you'd walk down the supermarket and there'd be like it just says
cereal.
It just says tea, and there's boxes that just say tea on it.
I don't know. Maybe. And
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is.
There's no people buying rights to sports. It's just sport.
All I'm saying is because I'm not gonna get political and be like, oh, it'll be better if this person was in charge or this person was. No,
because they're
all. I feel like the same outcome pretty much happens. There's different journeys that get there, but it's the same outcome.
Yeah,
it's the same amount of absolute bullshit every single time.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the answer is, right? But something has to change. It's ridiculous. It's mental. Like, cost of living is getting out of hand.
Yeah, people are struggling
and it's
to
like,
live.
But it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you go to the shop now and you get a bag. You get like one little bag. There might be half a bag of stuff, right? And you're not splashing out. You're not getting like expensive bougie coffee or anything, or like expensive, or you're not buying any alcohol products. And you take your little basket of shopping to the checkout, you scan it through, and they're like, that'll be £28, please. And you're like, what?
I was like, I swear I was a tenner like weeks ago.
I've never gone to the shop just to get a few bits and pieces, and then gone like that at the end of the shopping trip to like check all the prices and be like, what's happened?
And what's worse is when you do proper checks, you're like, that can't be right, and you're like, it is right.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's mental.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to change the mood here. Do you want to, there's a dog playing a piano. I've got that. Should we just watch that?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you vote for. This is good stuff. Good. He does it with such
His timing is pretty good as well. It's
He's
not
really
bad.
like, look at the urgency though when he gives the point.
It's like he goes into performance mode.
Good. Oh, it's so cute.
So what I want to see now is I want to see 2, so that there's a chord progression.
Yeah, or him get up on his hind legs and just start playing the piano. You know what?
That would be good.
If I'm having to spend £3 on half a Mars bar, I want to see a dog play piano.
Yeah.
That
That's
was one of the TikToks.
That's
You
good
sent a
stuff.
TikTok in. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
It wouldn't make me happy. Do you remember what it is?
Yes, I thought it's funny.
Okay, I want that. Funny's good.
Okay, so Gareth has now quit his job as a drummer, and he's going to be a pastor. The power of Christ compels you! Power of Christ compels you, baby! Let the devil leave your body!
That is
I just love because he's drinking as well, right? So it's like the only option he has
give
is
it
to
a pause. Not
just
a pause.
put his hand out and he just grabs her head.
It's so good. The instincts, though, are amazing. That is a man who's had multiple people fall on his drum kit, isn't it? What was she?
There's so much to unpack.
It's
Well, no,
so
it's because
good.
when you watch it a few times, now just watch her feet.
Yeah.
It's like she just forgets where the edge of the stage is, and there's a raised lip. So
Wait,
with the combination,
for audio, because some people do just listen to this.
that's mental.
They're on the train going in. So if you're just listening to this, this is a video of a security camera. The band are taking a break.
I think it looks like they're maybe doing a sound check.
Something. The way he's drinking makes me think it's mid-performance. I reckon these fellas are playing for a few hours. Anyway, it's a band in the corner. A young lady comes up with her hands behind. She's speaking to the drummer. So either she knows the drummer, or I like to think she's just requesting a song, maybe. But she trips up on the edge of the stage. She leans on her cymbals.
Starts slowly falling forward towards the drums.
She's gonzo, right? She is about to break bones over the drum kit, and the drummer, who's mid-sip of a drink, with his other hand, just grabs her forehead
pushes her
and
back.
pushes her back. It is phenomenal. And their reaction is still, they're being quite professional, so I don't think they know her, because the guitarist is losing it. That's phenomenal. That's the best, and then
It's
they're
good
like
stuff,
mimicking
innit?
it. That's the
It's
best
good
one you've
stuff.
sent for sure. That might be the best thing I've ever seen.
I've never seen anyone literally like
They're
a
killing.
priest.
Oh, and then she leaves as well. Then she leaves, and they are dying
Yeah,
with
yeah,
laughter.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think they clearly don't know that lady.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
That's really good. That's brilliant. There we go. I've forgotten that I'm basically dying because of the cost of a fucking supermarket shop. That's good stuff.
That's made me forget all about the fact that all I've eaten for the last week is rice.
Wheat. A bowl of wheat. And even that's expensive.
not even like made it into anything.
No,
it's
no,
just
just
wheat.
wheat.
It's just the wheat.
Oh man. Right.
Wheat and water.
We're only 13 minutes in because we've already killed 10 minutes that don't exist. So I don't know what we're going to do here. Have you
well,
got music news? I'm in the middle of
not-
making you a jingle, but it's not finished.
Not a lot has happened, right?
What did...
So here's
nothing
here's what
has
I've got.
happened, really.
Here's what I've got. Right.
Okay. I can't cut to you.
Beyonce, right? She's now started making country music.
Right, yeah.
Well, there's a caveat.
There's
There's a
caveat.
caveat. But what I'll start with is the news article.
a lot of caveats.
that I was gonna sort of like ease my way into this with.
Okay.
Was that Dolly Parton has given Beyonce
The right.
the big old thumbs up and the Dolly Parton seal of approval, right? But I'm like,
And
that's
Beyonce-
such a nothing.
Beyonce's given her a pass on the N-word.
Yeah.
So it was fair.
I'm looking forward to Dolly's next country album.
Oh, man. That'd be good. I don't care.
No, but like, I just feel like it's such a nothing thing, right? Because like Dolly Parton, right, is not going to turn around publicly and be like, "That is shit."
Yeah.
That is shit.
Okay, have you heard it?
Which I've listened to it. Have you listened to it?
Yeah. Oh, do you know
So
what the problem
here's
is?
the thing.
It
Here's
starts
the thing.
fine.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say.
Okay,
right?
he's going to say it.
It's fine.
Pop off.
It's fine,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
a catchy tune.
Yeah.
It's fine, right?
I can't really remember how it goes, but
What
yeah.
it isn't, it's not really a country song.
No, but this is. I know I've seen people. This is now bringing up people, and it'll be like the top 10 country songs, and it'll be a list, and I'm like, none of them
If
are
I see
country
Beyonce
songs.
on there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start flipping tables.
One thing I'll say is right? People are like, oh my God, Beyonce's making country. She's done this a few times before. She has multiple songs, one of which is probably, I'm not a Beyonce fan, right? And I know the B Army or whatever they're called, right?
The Beehive, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that Adele?
Because B Army
I
is
can't remember
both
which
Brentford Football Club and the Bracknell Bees. So it's probably not that, because they don't want to get sued by the Bracknell Bees.
No, it's a the Bee Army.
Beehive.
What's Adele's? I can't remember. It's like something about a hive.
No,
Does it...
she has a beehive.
Yeah, don't they call themselves the Beehives?
No, that's Beyonce.
Oh, Beehive.
What are we doing? What's the point?
No, because we were talking
So
about...
Beyonce's done it before. I'm not a massive fan. Never have been.
Of Beyonce?
Right? Of Beyonce.
It's one of those, I respect her as an artist, but it's just not my...
The album that's like the greatest album ever made, people say.
It's not.
Lemonade, which was shite. But there's a song on it called Daddy Issues, which is a country song, and it's a really good song. It's brilliant. When it comes on, I think it's great. It's probably better than this one.
Oh, this one called Texas Hold'em?
But it's not... It's
just not a country song. What I would describe it is it's a generic crap pop song, right? In the style of a country song. But it's not a country song. It's not a country.
There's
but that's the thing, though. It's not
country songs, though. There's like pop country songs. Bo Burnham has a great.
I think if your country song, right, has bitch in the lyrics, it's not a country song.
I don't know what some proper southern. What's the chauvinist guys driving a? I don't know. There's a good Bo Burnham bit. He says that there's this difference, which is there is country songs which are made by like country people that drive tractors and pickup trucks, and then there's what is the big version, which is people that fly private jets talking about how they're wrangling horses on fields, and you're like, no, you're not. Right. So I think that's the separation. But yeah, I don't know. It's fine. People have lost their mind over it. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I've got nothing.
Like I said, it's not really bad. It's not a bad song.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. But it's not great, and it's not country.
Yeah. Take that, Beyonce.
Oh, I just realised that is all the news.
Because
my other news. Oh no, because we didn't talk. Because this, I'm getting confused.
Oh wait.
As to whether it was in the first bit. Or
yeah,
the second
bit. That was in the first bit.
Lenny Kravitz is going to be performing the Champions League halftime show.
Yeah. Insert spiel about football. You don't watch.
We've already spoken.
We've
spoken
about it on other episodes.
I don't get who's watching it. No one's watching the halftime show.
Agreed.
Apart from on YouTube. However, as much as I hate it, Lenny Kravitz is great.
It's still an alright one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be cool. It's quite... I feel like there's Lenny Kravitz songs that probably would be played.
Here's the thing. If I was at the Champions League, right, bearing in mind, I'm going to have had a few pints before the game, right? Before I get to the ground, I'm going to have a few pints.
Yeah.
At the ground, I'm probably going to have a pint before I go in.
Yeah.
Right?
So you need a piss.
So if I've got a choice between watching Lenny Kravitz perform or go for a piss and have another beer, I'm going to go for a piss and have another beer.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you need the piss, and then you may as well just get the beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've already missed the first song. Yeah, I don't know. It's I wish we would stop Americanizing things that aren't Americanized. It happens in Formula One.
I don't I don't attack. I'm sat here wearing a New York Rangers jersey, right? I literally listen to the Star Spangled Banner more than I listen to God Save the King. Right?
Yeah.
I don't really care about either of them, but I'm just saying, and like, I'm not attacking it. It's who they are. That's America.
Thing.
It's fine.
It's not our culture.
But as soon as it starts slipping over to our stuff, that's when I'm like, I fucking hate this, because it's not even for us.
No. Yeah.
It's not even for us. Like, I don't understand it. I mean,
yeah.
Like, the only time I complain as well about it when it's like in America is just with the Formula One, and that's just because it's like, that's an international sport.
Yeah.
That just happens to travel to your country.
And
as much as, and again, I want to be careful, because I think there is a certain amount of patriotism that has to happen in all these countries, because that's one of the good things about the Formula One. When it goes to Mexico, goes to Brazil, we inherit their culture. Japan is another good one. We sort of celebrate their culture, and it's fine, right? Here's the difference, right? When we race in Austin, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I'm like, yep, cool. This is America. Yeah, America. When we go to Miami, that's when it's like it's crossed the line of let's celebrate your culture to this is obnoxious as hell, and it literally, I don't watch any of the pre-show for like Miami now.
It was tacky.
Like I'm like after the
awful.
first time, I'm like I'm done with the pre-show for Miami. I'm probably not going to watch the pre-show for like Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
I'll tune in at 2 minutes before the bloody formation lap starts.
Agreed.
Because I don't want to sit through all of that crap.
It is awful. It is awful. Also, I just started watching Drive to Survive, the latest season, and fucking, what would be the worst thing that they could do to Drive to Survive?
So here's the thing, right? I imagine if the producers of Netflix are clever, right, and they've listened to all of the outrage and feedback, all right, surrounding certain presenters.
Yeah.
I imagine they would avoid having those presenters be a main focus point of the show.
Yeah. Do you know how Will Buxton does he'll be sat and he'll talk through things, right? Halfway through maybe the first or the second episode, it's then Danica Patrick. She turns up and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Because she's so shit at that job. She is so bad at that job.
She barely knows anything about NASCAR.
But she has the audacity as well to say shit like, right, these drivers, I can get in the mind of these drivers because I did it for 2 decades. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You didn't do it for 2, because what they do, right, is highly technical and specific to these type of cars, which are like the fastest cars in the world for racing, right? It's what you did is not this. And I know she did IndyCar as well, which is not this. So it just pissed me off. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Roman Grosjean is good at IndyCar.
True. And you saw what happened the last time he drove a Formula 1 car. Bloody explosion. You can see the clip of that. It was insane.
Yeah.
I was trying to eat a bacon sandwich at the time. I lost my appetite. I thought he died. Have you got anything else? We can listen to some music. We have this guy.
The only other thing I was...
I called it Coconut Ben. I'm really struggling with the angle. This coconut looks more like you than you do. For the audio listeners,
I've been told we have the same beard.
I'm holding a coconut with googly eyes. Yeah. He needs longer hair on the top, I guess. But that's Coconut Ben. He's going to live up here for now. Do coconuts go mouldy?
I don't know.
He'll be available when we have the other cameras. He'll be on my shop for some reason.
I'm supposed to eat it. I got bought back to try a coconut because I've never had a coconut.
And you just chuck googly eyes.
Well, I didn't. Well, you know. But
I like it.
Yeah. Well, I've never had a coconut, but I love coconut. So it's one of those things. Like Bounty.
a Bounty.
Like,
Yeah.
Bounty's like my favourite chocolate.
Yeah. If you eat that coconut, I think you'll be quite sad.
That's what I've been told. I've been told, like, if you like Bounty coconut flavour type stuff, that ain't what coconuts taste like. So then maybe I don't like coconut. I don't know.
4 to 6 months, it says. But if that's just on the inside, then you'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen to that coconut. We'll see. When its hair starts falling out, you probably know it's time. Do you want to listen to some music?
Well, no, the only other thing I was going to say, it's not music related.
Okay.
But I just wanted to bring it up because there was just I don't know if you've seen that, it's a charity football match in Qatar, right?
Standard.
And they had like YouTubers and like ex-pro footballers.
Is this Speed?
Well, no. Well, that's
that.
one of those. But I was going to talk because I saw a clip, right, and everyone was going like the commentary people were going mental because it was Didier Drogba who like burst down like a run down the middle of the field, and it was like, Didier Drogba, he's not lost it, and all he pops it in the goal, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think was defending against him?
Chunks.
It was Angry Ginge.
Okay. That's bad for
you know
him.
the ginger.
I like him a lot, though.
as a fellow podgy guy, a podgy ginger guy who spends his entire life sat down.
Yeah.
Right, and I was
on
just
the
like,
brink of scurvy
okay, well, let's
every
calm
day.
down. I know it's Didier Drogba, but let's not. He was being defended by Angry
When he's
Ginge.
popping it in against Cal the Dragon or whoever it might be.
Oh yeah, no. Also, I don't even know who the goalie was, but
Not a good goalie.
Oh yeah.
It was actually what's her name? I've lost her name. It was going to be a funny joke, but I can't remember her name. No, I don't know. I don't want to Google it.
Is it the female footballer that got a bummo out or something?
What?
Wasn't there a female footballer that got a bummo out? The American goalie.
Oh yeah, you are right.
She got a bummo out.
Yeah, that was unfortunate though. Right?
Was that unfortunate?
Yeah.
Is it ever unfortunate to get your bummo out?
What are you on about?
She got a bummo out.
Yeah. But What do you mean? It's Hope Jones, I think. Hope. Was it
Hope Solo?
Hope Solo. Oh yeah, Hope Jones was the lead singer of an indie band that was around when I was a kid for like 6 months and then disappeared. Hope Solo, right? Yeah, but weren't those like leaked photos?
Oh, that is unfortunate.
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't like, look at my arsehole in the middle of a game. That's what I'm saying. So that's Hope Solo. No relation to Hans. Mary Earps was going to be who I was going to say was the goalie of the charity game, but that would be unfair because she is quite a good goalie. Anyway, we have some music. I have 4 songs from all over the globe. So first we're going to listen to Wyatt Woodley from LA.
LA.
Any guesses of the Wyatt Woodley from LA?
It's hard not to just go generic pop.
Wyatt Woodley, I'm going to say some form of hip hop.
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon so. I don't know why. He said for 2 minutes. I still don't know. Oh, I've actually prepped it. So here we go. This is Wyatt Woodley.
Said you couldn't find one like me if you wanted. Baby, you couldn't find one like me if you wanted. You couldn't find one like me. If you searched, I ain't low. If you searched, I ain't low. If you searched, I ain't low. You can search, I ain't low. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, that's good.
It's Wyatt Woodley from LA. It's very LA.
I like, yeah, very
Very
LA.
LA.
But I know I liked it. It kind of hits all the boxes of what you're looking for. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like dynamic range and the mix and the like, everything's quite organized, quite tight. Sounds good.
It was very non-offensive, which is
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
But the one thing I will say is it does lend itself to like it could be a YouTube video, like I don't know. I think musically, and I don't know how. Again, I don't know how people. It says he's a producer, so I don't know if he's made the beat as well. But I think more could have happened. I don't know. Maybe vocally, maybe it did before.
No, you can't find one like. If you when there's someone prettier in your eye.
So I don't know. Maybe we just picked the wrong part to listen to. Because not a lot happened in the bit that we listened to.
Well,
is my only
I
critique.
think what it sounded like to me was it was kind of a wind down of the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, towards the end.
Like, it sounds like there's probably a peak and then a trough. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
A peak and a trough.
Peak and a trough. That's fine. Peak
We were
is the
listening.
top. Trough
We
is
were
the
listening to a trough.
bottom. But yeah, it was good. It was very clean. As
What,
you
a load
said,
of old
there's
truffle?
there's no constructive criticism from a production side.
That's
I
what I
think it
mean.
was
It's
fit for
like
purpose.
if you were like, what technically is wrong with it? There's not really technically anything wrong with it.
I think it was. This is an unfortunate comparison, but with this style of music, there's an artist called Scotty Sire, who was part of like the Vlog Squad and all of that stuff. But he made music, and it was very similar to this, apart from, I think, and the person Wyatt Woodley may listen to Scotty Sire and go, okay, let's listen to a couple tracks, and he may listen and go, this is actually shit, right? But the reason why he would have that opinion is because he tries to be different. So it's this style of music, but it may have, I don't know what, but it I don't know. There's a lot more quirks to it to make it a bit more unique. I think possibly this is similar. And we had an indie band last week or a couple weeks ago, and my critique was they need to find their own sound. And I don't think this person's found their own sound. I think they've made something that fits in with a genre, which is good. But sometimes you just need to be brave and be like, can I do something a little bit different? I don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
Put a fucking trumpet in it. I don't know. Something like that. It might work, might not.
I just want to say
Dare
sometimes
to be different.
sometimes the answer is not just put a trumpet in it.
Put a fucking trumpet in it. I don't know. But sometimes it is. So there we go.
Sometimes a clarinet.
Yeah. A French horn. What's the one? Is that the one that you put your hand in? Euphonium.
That's
maybe?
a puppet.
Oh yeah. But thanks for the submission, Wyatt. It was really good. Wyatt Woodley from LA. Check him out. But yeah, I think that's the next step. I would say would be to just find your own sound a little bit. I don't know. Do you disagree?
No, I don't really disagree.
No, fair enough. Our next. Why do I do this to myself? Our next submission. I'll give this a good old shot actually, because they're from Vilnius, in Lithuania.
Okay.
Which is where I went on honeymoon with my wife, but also our kids.
Could be husband.
It could be husband. It wasn't. Not yet. They're from Vilnius. It's a lovely place, Vilnius. So shout out, Vilnius.
Stop saying Vilnius.
I tried some of
It's
their.
starting to sound like a fake name.
On the
fake
last
word.
on the last day, I think I sent you a picture. We ordered some like traditional Lithuanian food.
Oh, was it horrible?
Well, they're like a former USSR country, right?
Yeah.
That broke off themselves.
It's
quite
all
cool.
dishes where it's like it's almost all of the food is nearly transparent.
It was, do you know? And I was gonna say, it actually was quite nice, but you had to really like fight through the
It's like I've seen
it.
Bold and Bankrupt before, being like some like former USSR town, and be like, this is the traditional local dish, and it's like sausages and something, and I'm like, oh, that sounds nice, but then you look at the sausages and they're like, why can I see through the sausages?
Yeah.
Like, why is it almost kind of like translucent?
So it's like, oh yeah, this is spot on as well. So this shows me what I was on about. So this is quite a nice version of it, of like dumplings. So it's like a dumpling, and it would have
It
like
looks like a cheesecake.
it would have like a sausage, like a sausagey middle, right? And then this is like sour cream, and then like a meaty sauce. So can you see down here? It's quite hard to see, but there's like a real weird. It's like a watery, meaty gravy mixed in with sour cream, which they don't mix great.
I'm sure
It was tasty.
I'm sure it tastes good, right? But you know what annoys me?
What annoys you?
As someone that is from a country that gets ridiculed, right, for
Yeah.
having bland food.
Yeah.
And like, why is all your food beige? And but then you look at other countries' food, man, and it's like,
Yeah, we're fine.
why? Oh, it's a plate of eels.
Yeah.
Like, that's their national dish.
This is actually
Ugh,
that's
it looks so
more
gross.
that's more similar to what we had.
That looks like an iced bun that has been left out for way too
and
long.
it gets that. But again, I'll hold my hands up and say we tried it and I ate it. It was fine. It was nice, but it was also like you kind of had to be like as you were swallowing it. But it was fine. It tasted good.
Sure, it's nice.
But what's my point?
I don't know.
It was a great time though. Great time in Vilnius. This is Algirdas Tiunias. Algirdas Tiunias. I think is just their name. Any guesses from Vilnius? Musically?
EDM.
I want it to sound like do you know I always Google the wrong thing. I can't remember their name. I've played them before at the start of the show. The guys are like, yo, change your mind, hey,
Yeah.
and they have like a accordion.
Yeah.
I want it to be that. I don't think it will be that, but I want it to be that. This is Lines of Love by Algirdas Tiunias. That felt like I nailed that. Algirdas Tiunias. Maybe. Let me know. There's a minute.
It's hard to judge. It's hard to comment because nothing happened.
Apart from at one point, it sounded like someone moved a chair across a hardwood floor. It went.
It was a cool sound.
I like that sound.
But like, there's nothing technically wrong with it. It sounded good in like terms of the mix. But then it's like you talk about dynamic range again. It's hard because minute nothing happened. It was like I don't know.
I might skim.
It kind of sounded.
It's quite hard. If I was Wyatt Woodley, the person who just released, and I had listened to maybe like not a lot happened. Nothing happened. Do you know what I mean? Nothing happened in this track either.
Yeah.
So the sound was cool. It was a cool production sound, but something else needed to happen. I think of. Do you know that we've had the group before? They submitted a demo called Thestrals, and they had that song that sounded. The production was kind of like this. It was like very drony sounds, but then it had this big vocal hook that came in. It was like this huge range happened. And I feel like this nods to be like that would be a step of this that would make it really impactful. Maybe they're just trying to make chill music that you.
Well,
put in the background,
exactly, and that's why
there's a purpose for it.
That's why I initially said it's hard to sort of like judge it or criticize it because I don't know what the purpose of the music is. Because to me, it kind of sounded something that was made specifically for like a movie or a TV show.
Yeah, like a soundtrack.
Or like soundtrack.
Not even a soundtrack,
video,
a score.
Like, yeah.
Like something that would happen
or even just
during
like
the scene.
a menu of like a video game or something that's just playing in the background. Like it, I don't know what the purpose is. Is this just for people to just straight up listen to you? And even then, that's fine because it could be like you say. There is a genre of music that I just want kind of like lo-fi, borderline depressed music.
Yeah,
I just want something to have on the background. It's fine, but that's why I mean like it's hard to judge. All I can say is that the mix was good. It sounded good. There was no sort of like bits where I was like, ugh, like that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's hard to judge, like because I don't know what the context of that song is. Like, I don't know what is the purpose of it.
Yeah, I agree completely. So thank you for the submission, Algirdas Tiunias. Try my best. Let me know how I pronounce your name as well. But also, it'll be really cool. I mean, again, it can be tricky because sometimes we get submissions and actually they're a part of a bigger picture or they're making songs and it's a journey through and that's always really cool. But then you listen to 1 minute of one song and it's quite hard. So I would love to know what their take is. What's their aim musically? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to make? That would be interesting. So definitely let us know. And if you think that it's like, oh, maybe that wasn't a great example, then just submit more and we'll listen to more and see what we think. But yeah, thank you for the submission. The next, so I've actually got two more. We got two more. Just having a little look how we're doing. So we have an artist from Rochester, New York, Amie Hayes, is up next. Do you want to guess?
Amie Hayes.
Amie Hayes,
Rochester,
from
New York.
Rochester, New York.
I'm gonna go folk.
Oh yeah. I don't have a guess.
It kind of, to me, the name Amie Hayes, it sounds like in 5 years you'll be at BBC introducing, and it'll be like, "Welcome to the stage, Amie Hayes," and she walks out with her acoustic guitar.
Right, a bit of an Amy McDonald.
Yes,
I like that, or a Duffy. I am gonna say it'll be like Paramore, some girl-led rock. Here we go, Amie Hayes.
I like it a lot.
I like it. It's a cool sound.
It makes me want to listen to the rest of it and more because like it's just an interesting sound. Not interesting. It just sounds good.
Yeah, I feel like the only critique feedback I could give would be that I felt like the vocals obviously had a lot of effects on them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think when you use effects on vocals, it like pulls them down in the mix. So they're not as punchy, they're not sat on the top. They end up being like almost an instrumental layer.
I do know what you mean, because there was a part of me that was waiting for a dynamic shift.
Like a punch.
A bit more of a punchier thing. And maybe it was because of that. Because of the effects, maybe.
I think that's what I would have liked, is the contrast. I would have liked them to go to like the next octave, have a real punchy, like, you know, like a pushy vocals that is clean, that isn't with the effects.
It does.
But then
it
that
does.
may happen,
without listening to any of her other stuff, it does sound like she's quite in the realm of that sort of punk, sort of like rocker, vibe to it. It sounds like she could be like belting out some like grungy rock stuff. Yeah.
It sounded like this would be the low of a track that would get a high.
Yeah.
I don't know. Having a look, she says alternative, indie songwriter, with a haunting and evocative style, which is cool. But yeah, I would have loved the power to pick up.
Almost kind of like it's almost kind of like a in between ground from like Paramore and like maybe some Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
Almost like a mix. Like
somewhere in between.
Somewhere in the middle.
But I would have liked to have felt the Paramore come. Do you know what I mean? I know I'd guessed Paramore at the start as well.
I would have liked to see more of Florence.
It's fair enough. But then Florence can belt it too. So there we go. But thanks for the submission, Amie Hayes. It looks like she has 2 songs currently. So possibly quite early. Releases from last year. And then I don't know when the last one was.
Hopefully there's more coming.
She's just released another song.
Interesting.
So that would be interesting. Maybe just submit the other song as well, and we could just listen to that. Let us know if you'd want us to do that. But yeah, really interesting. Thank you for the submission. We have one more. Should we do one more?
Just do it.
Why not? This is from a band a bit closer to home. They're from Oxford in the UK. I think they're playing a string of shows like literally in Reading. So maybe we'll go and review them. I don't know. But this is BarrelHaus, spelled HAUS. BarrelHaus. Any genre guesses?
BarrelHaus.
Spelled HAUS and all one word. BarrelHaus.
I'm just gonna go. It's just a rock band.
Just feels rocky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Viking rock. This is BarrelHaus. This is All Aboard. There we go. The energy's up, isn't it?
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a lot of comparatives here, isn't there?
Yeah. It's close to a lot of different things. Like I was going to say, it's kind of almost... There's a band called Monster Jam. It was kind of close to.
Bit Monster Jammy.
Yeah.
I felt elements of Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Some elements of Red Hot Chili Peppers, weirdly. Like some of the vocals sounded a bit Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's really interesting. I think the one...
No, I mean, when the drums started, I was almost kind of like it was like a little bit Scar.
Yeah, for sure. With some Rocky on the top. The only thing for me with it... You right? What was that?
I felt like you peaked a little bit.
Did I peak?
Yeah.
Sorry, boys. Sorry about the peaks. The only thing for me is I felt the frequency of the production is quite flat.
Yeah,
I felt it's all like in the lower mid.
So I think
or the higher mids, I guess.
Yeah, because I think what I was about to say is it's hard to know because we didn't listen to the whole song. but it felt like that quick tempo. It felt like it was just going to be never ending.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and looking at this sort of sound profile, it seems like that might be the case. I don't know.
Nudges?
But for me, I feel like there's definitely a thing for me where sometimes I'm like, yeah, I love this. But then it's like, it's at that level for the entire song.
Yeah, you get fatigue.
Yeah, and it's like, it's almost like it either has to go higher or lower.
Yeah.
and so even if it's just
Briefly.
Just like an interlude, because it's like just giving you a little bit of a break, like you breathe a little bit, and then you build back up to it.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
I think they've got a really cool
you get that
sound.
second bounce of energy.
Maybe a couple nudges. So a solo happens, but you are right that it's all here. It's all at like 85%. And it just stays at 85%.
It's like when I think about
there
some
could
of
be
my
like a halftime could
well, it's
happen.
like when I think about some of my favorite sort of like real fast-paced rock music. I'm talking about maybe some like Arctic Monkey stuff, right? Where it comes in and it's like and it's like fast-paced, but then there's always a bit where it drops right down.
It could just be vocals or something.
Something happens.
Agree.
There's a drum break or something, or there's a drum like change. There's a shift in the dynamic a little bit. And it kind of adds that. And it's like, I think for me, because what it does is like, there's a lot of songs where it starts off and you're like, this is amazing, right? But it's because of that initial start.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you have to, you trick the listener by doing the same thing again. But in order to do the same thing again, you have to take it away from them.
You need to stop.
You have to take it away from them.
Yeah.
You have to bring them down just so that you can do the same trick again and be like, oh, do you remember that lick that we came in with? That was fucking banging and you loved it.
Yeah.
Well, here it is again.
I think as well. I've referenced this a few times, but the band Royal Republic, who I really enjoy, they've spoken about their writing process that they'll all listen to a track they record, and then every time they get bored, someone will pause the track and go, okay, I just got bored. And then they're like, okay, cool, what can we do? And then from that point, they then go, okay, cool, we need to break it down. We need to it's all about making these changes to keep you engaged. I think that's the missing piece of this, because it's a great sound. Vocally, it sounds great. Instrumentally, it's really strong. The tone of the guitars is nice. The drums, the performance is good. So it's a really strong track. But if you just start at 85% and stay there, or at 100% and stay there, then that 100% won't feel like 100%. So I do agree that there needs to be some
like
dips. There needs to be something.
Yeah, it's like even like most like heavy metal, for example.
Yeah.
Like most heavy metal is not at 100% for the entire song.
No, there'll be parts where it will drop down to just the bass or a guitar riff or whatever it might be. So yeah, I do think that that's the next part. Again, there could
I always
be more.
kind of feel like a good way of looking at it is to imagine if you're like successful and you're playing in a stadium or whatever, 30,000 people, right? Where's the bit in the song where people are going to get re-energized?
Yeah.
Where are people going to sort of like restart a mosh pit up or restart like, you know, jumping up and down?
Yeah.
And I always feel like that's the bit where I'm looking at that song and I'm like, well, there isn't.
Yeah.
They might get excited at the start, but then halfway through that song, you're just going to get a bunch of people that are just kind of like a bit flat. Because
I think even if you were to think of this in an album, and I know they've reached out for reviews and things like that, which is really cool, and I think one might go live. One might go live of this single, and it may go into a bit more depth about what we're talking now. They also mentioned that they have an album, so an album's going to come out. But even if you place this onto an album and go, oh yeah, but there's a slow song in front of it, or what, maybe it's part of a bigger picture, but the problem is you may have people getting fatigue in this track and going, I love the sound, but I'm now 2 minutes into the sound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and it's also, even if you're looking at it and be like, oh yeah, but this is part of an album, you have to listen to it as an album. That is just, you can't make music like that anymore.
No.
You have to have every single song you produce has to be a song that can stand on its own.
People don't have the attention span
and
anymore.
This is the thing. Every song you produce has to be a song that could potentially go viral, and that could be the song that is getting played on the radio.
Yeah, possibly.
Do you know what I mean?
Possibly,
but what I mean by that is, in like, it doesn't mean like every song has to be like the same or follow the same structure or whatever. But what I mean is that if you've got that song and that song is the one that you're like, this is our song, right? That's not going to do well on a radio.
But even though I think the concern, I will expand on what you're saying, because I do agree with what you're saying. I think the problem is people may hear it and hear you need to make every song commercially viable, whatever. Isn't the
that's
case,
not what I'm saying at all.
But I do agree with the fact that, like, okay, cool, you could make an album, and I've said before, my favourite thing ever is finding a great album, right? But in a great album, you may have up songs and down songs, but they all have their own dynamic journey, which I don't know necessarily this went through. I know through flicking through, I heard a guitar solo happens, but even a guitar solo is the drums are still here, the instruments are still here. There's no vocals, but that's replaced by the guitar solo. So I don't even think necessarily that is enough of a break. So yeah, I think, and again, we've said before, when we go into this much detail, it's typically because we like a sound. And it's really close to being a great sound.
I always like to emphasize, because I feel like sometimes people just they're not able to take criticism anymore.
Yeah.
But we're criticizing because we like it. It's because we're like, we think it could be better.
What could be the next step?
Yeah.
And if they have an album coming out, I would. It's really tough, because when you record an album, that costs a lot of money sometimes, and it's quite hard to then redo things. If every song is a case of, we've got a cool riff, we've got a cool drum sound, we've got a cool melody, there's the song, but there aren't these ups and downs, then that can be quite difficult to listen to stay engaged with. I have a better attention span than most people, but musically, I can get bored really easily.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Like I struggle to listen to music that doesn't sort of like grab my attention.
You. Yeah. Nice. I don't have much else. I guess I'll shout out, as I do most weeks, IAAS.tv, where we do our written reviews. We've had Miri went and saw the vaccines, so she did a write-up about them.
Jealous.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like a guild hall, like an proper old school.
Are they still?
They looked great.
Are they still rocking it?
Yeah, they looked great. They had a couple support acts that she did some write-ups about. I just reviewed someone called Holly Carmen. She's like if Lana Del Rey was interesting and good. Do you know what I mean?
I love how you put interesting and good.
Yeah, because I actually enjoyed it a lot. The start of the song I listened to and I was like, oh, is this just going to be like a Lana Del Rey ripoff? And then the rest of the song happened. I was like, no, it was really good. But she's like a 50s, 60s inspired kind of pop, indie pop singer. So it's really, really good sound. So a review's gone live of that. Loads of reviews are going to be coming out in the next few days. So check that out, IAASmusic.com and indianashow.com for mugs and shit. That's it, I think. Maybe BarrelHaus might get one. Bit of a write-up. We'll see. I don't know. I don't make the rules.
Apart from that, do you think you've got any shot of beating the Rangers today?
Flyers versus Rangers tonight? No. We don't play well against you. You're hot at the moment. We're doing all right.
But this is to go on a 10-game win streak.
All I want is for this to be I don't want it to be a 6-1 either way. Well, I would take a 6-1 plus, but I like it when it's...
How nuts did you watch the highlights of that game?
Oh, insane. Well, this is just hockey talk now, but that game was mental.
What was the score? 10-7. 10-7. Or was it 11-7?
No, 10.
10-7.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was insane. If you are scoring 7 goals...
I checked the scores like the next morning. I thought there was like a glitch. I thought it was like, well, this is clearly
7-1, maybe.
Yes, clearly something's happened. It's not right. Someone's leant on the keyboard.
Yeah, crazy. 3 hat tricks in one game. Pretty good.
Can you imagine? What were the odds?
People need to watch ice hockey. That's what the takeaway from this is. Ice hockey is fun. Watch it.
Imagine scoring 7 goals and losing.
I know. If people don't know as well, I think the average ice hockey score is like 3-2, maybe 2-1. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Sorry about the tech issues, so this episode may be a little bit shorter than normal. But yeah, we will see you next week. If you want to submit your music, go to IAASmusic.com. It's probably the best one. Ciao.